got a small project tonight we're going to work on here. We've got a new Bobcat combination bucket. We're going to weld on the pin that holds the new style connectors on. Basically, it's a hoop D-ring. So my plan is to weld it kind of like such on here. So it gives me clearance between the bucket and the tire and everything. So probably like that. So we're gonna go down there. I got the pin right there in the skid steer. Weld it on, and then I'll do some more explaining on the bucket and how the skid steer's been going. And yeah, so let's get to cracking. So we got took the bucket and kind of mocked it up here. I'll put it about right here. That'll give me a place to turn this D-ring around. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to tack the pin on and see how that all fits up there, then hook everything up and see how it works. That way I know if I need to take them off, this has got tack instead of a full weld around there. So, well, let's get this tacked on. That wasn't too bad for ain't welded in a while. Got the pin on there, tacked it on there, and checked my holder, which is just going to have to be where it's going to be, because that's really meant for like a new M series or an R series Bobcat. It's kind of to make this work. So we'll I'm gonna clean that up a little bit. I think I got a little paint liner in there. I'm gonna paint that up so it don't rust, and then should be good to go. So yeah, I'll clean it up a little bit so we can get a little paint, and then we'll hook it all up and I'll show you the finished product. Well, we got her all welded up, pin on there. Had to turn the hoop down instead of up because it was letting the hoses kind of get into the tires. So we turned it down, and that way now it won't flip back. So I think that's gonna work out pretty good on here. So a little backstory on the combination bucket. I had a demo 68-inch bucket. It stuck out a little farther than the machine. It kind of was a little heavy on it. It just kind of seemed like capacity wasn't little bit lowered because you had a little more bucket there. So I ended up, I seen that you could get a 62 inch, which is a little bit shorter, and that way it's pretty much, you can't really tell on camera, but it's pretty much cutting the wheel tracks out. And it's literally sticking over like this much. And before it was like this much. And I got a new cutting edge on it, side cutters on it. Set it up kind of the way I wanted it. I always like the side cutters. And I know I wanted an edge because the edges are expensive, but they save your wear off of the actual bucket itself. So definitely wanted that. And this here, I just had to set it up. I had to figure out how I wanted to make the holder on here for the hoses, because the auger, you run them straight up because you really don't need to run them through anything because you're always tilting it down, and I don't need to worry about that. And I really got other hydraulic attachments, and probably the next attachment I get's a 62 inch root grapple, and it'll have the same pin on deal, so it'll pin up just like this is, so not a big deal there. But this little machine right here is working out real good. Used it on 2 jobs so far, 2 gravel jobs. I used it around the farm a bunch. I used it at the other farm that I picked up this year. Spread manure, loaded manure out with it. So I had the combination bucket over there, and it works out real good because in all reality, this machine's pretty light and ass thing. It is a short wheelbase, so it does seem to tip quite a bit. With this being a open and closed bucket, you can have a full load of dirt and open the bucket up as you go forward, and it spreads it out as you go, so that works out pretty good. You can spread dirt with it closed in like a regular bucket, but it gets a little lot on the rear end, so it's kind of nice to use the clamshell on this to open up and spread. And it's pretty nice, honestly, for stone, because you can gauge how much rock you're putting on with every pass, so that's working out pretty good there. And of course the grapple portion of it, I'm going to use it kind of as a grapples. That's pretty slick too. So it's kind of the reason why I went for a combination bucket. I kind of wanted something a little multi-use. And for repairing driveways and stuff, this thing works really well for that, because you can drag gravel where you need to when you have it clammed open. You can scrape, use it as a dozer blade. Use it as a regular bucket if you want to. I mean, it's just kind of a Swiss Army knife of buckets. I've always liked these buckets. Our big machine, we've always had a slick bucket and a tooth bucket. I didn't really have a need for one of these. And also, it's a big enough machine that you can load that bucket to the gills, and you ain't gonna tip it over unless you're going downhill with the booms up too high. This machine here, it's a wheeled machine, so it's kind of tippy. But it works out really well. I'm very happy with it. It's the machine's low hour enough that it's working out really good. I'm excited, happy I had this. I actually finally got to use this on a job last week, doing a gravel job with it, and it worked just like the other one. But this one here, it's mine, so it's kind of nice that it's also the right size bucket, and it's got new edges on it. That's what I was kind of looking at, a used one, but the edges are all worn on it. Hoses are going to be replaced on. I was like, I kind of would like to. I couldn't have a new skid steer, at least I have a new bucket. So I just was like, I want to get me a brand new bucket for it. And this seems to be working out really well for it. So anyhow, that's just a quick little evening video here, fixing on some stuff and getting some things set up on the new skid steer. It's a nice little machine. I need to fix that, but haven't had time to mess with it here recently. So hopefully we'll get to that here shortly. Maybe this winter we'll do some cosmetic stuff to it and fix it up a little bit. And yeah. So anyhow, this is the end of the video. So yeah, catch y'all later. Thank y'all for watching. Please comment and subscribe. We'll catch y'all later.